Good morning, students. Then today our topic is matter in our surroundings. So we'll continue with the further that to the different states of matter. Already when I taken the this my previous lecture, in that already we have discussed the matter and their three different states of matter and what are the characteristics of matter. So quickly I will revise those whatever we have already studied in that. Then further that I will continue with the next topic. Now, student, matter, anything which has mass and occupies space is called matter. Already that you know that definition of the matter, anything has mass and occupy space. Any substance which has mass and occupies space. This is the definition of matter, students, and three states of matters are solid, liquid, and gas. Is it clear, students? Now, solids are those substances, or solid is that which has definite shape, definite volume, and definite size. That's called solid. But in case of liquid, the liquid is a substance which is having definite that volume and but no definite shape. Liquid take the shape of the container, but gas no definite shape, no definite size, etc. Now, students, atoms are very, very closely packed in case of solids. Atoms are very closely packed in case of solids, and in case of liquids, atoms are not that much close in case of liquid, and in case of gases, the atoms they are separately apart. Now, next is the intermolecular force. In case of solid, it is very, very strong. The intermolecular force in case of solid, it is very, very strong. In case of liquid, it is not that much strong. But in case of gases, the intermolecular force is weak. Clear, students? Now, further to that, now our today's that next topic is the can matter change its state? Can we change the states of matter? States of matter. Now, question is like this: can we change the states of matter? Means if I can change the solid into the liquid or liquid into the gas, gas into the liquid, and liquid and into the gas, solids. So these states can be interchanged. How? What are the methods to be adopted to interchange the states of matter? Now, students, I'll draw the diagram, and with that, and each and every step, I'll explain to you how we can change the different states of matter from one state to another state. Now, here, students, solid. This is a block I have made for solid. Now, liquid. Another. Now, gas. Now, students, if I want to change the solid state to the liquid state, what is the method I'll adopt? Definitely, for example, I got ice. Now I want to convert into the liquids, that is the water. So what is the process that I should adopt to change the solid state into the liquid? So definitely I'll increase the temperatures. I'll increase the temperature. That when temperature is increased, when temperature is increased, the solid substance will be converted into the liquid. That is called the melting. Melting by heat. This is the sign of delta. It is the sign of temperature of heat. If I got the ice, if now I increase the temperature of the ice, definitely it will convert into the water liquid. Means solid can be converted into the liquids. Now further I will just apply more heat. Again liquid is heated, then it will convert into gas. That's called evaporations. Is it clear, students? Now, from gas state, I want to convert into the liquid. That is called the condensation. Now, condensation, I'll give you the live example. For example, I got one glass. Now, this glass is there. Now, I'll put the sum of the ice cubes, the crushed ice. I'll put the some crushed ice into that glass. After some time, what I will observe, the outside surface of the glass. So where there was no water vapors are present, because totally the glass was dry before when I have put the crushed ice, the pieces of ice. Before to that, there was no water available on the outer surface of the glass. But when I put the small pieces of the ice into the glass, after some time, you will observe that the outside surface of the glass, that is the sum of the water droplets are stick to that outer surface of the glass. Means from where these droplets have come, how this outer surface of the glass has become wet. Now, reason is this, because the gases which are present near to that surface of the glass, now it is converted into the liquid, and this process is known as, students, condensation. So I'll write down the term condensation. So condensation is the process when the gas convert into the liquids. Is it clear? Now, again, I got the liquid. Now I want to make it a solids. Now what I'll do, I'll keep this liquid into the refrigerator, or I will reduce the temperature. That's called freezing. Freezing is the process when the liquids convert into the solids. For example, I got water. Now what I'll do, I'll keep that water into the refrigerator. After some time, that water will convert into the ice. It means the liquid has converted into the solid. Again, students, I'll repeat all this. How these states of matter can be interchanged from one state to another state. How solid can be converted into the liquids, and how the liquid can be converted into gas, and how the gas is converted into liquid, and liquid is converted into solid. Now, students, if I want to convert the solid into the liquid, then I have to increase the temperature. The process is called melting. Melting is the process by which I can convert these solids into the liquids. Clear, students? Second step, if I want to convert the liquid into the gas, then again I'll increase the temperature. The process is known as the evaporation. It is the second step. Now, students, solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Already I achieved up to gas. Now again I want to go back from gas to liquid and liquid to solids. Now gas to liquids, that's the condensations. Clear, student? I give you the example of the crushed ice. When put into the glass, and the outer surface of the glass, it becomes wet. Is it clear, student? This process is called condensations. Now evaporations, then next is the freezing. I want to convert this liquid into the solids. Now I will decrease the temperature. Now temperature is reduced. Now liquid will convert into the solids. This is called freezing. Now students, you please remember all these terms: melting, evaporations, condensation, freezing, and all. Now students, few terms that again we'll study in the details. So these terms are melting point, boiling point, and freezing point. Now student, very, very important terms. So these terms will be used in your lessons. Now students, first is a melting point. Number two, it is first is a melting point. Next one is a boiling point. And third one is a freezing point. Sometimes you may find instead of point, it is written as a temperature. Meaning is same. If somebody asks you how you will define the melting temperatures or the melting point of a substance. Now, definition of the melting point or the temperature, a melting point is the minimum temperature at which the substance starts changing from the solid to liquid state. When the substance starts changing from the solid state to liquid state, the minimum temperature, that is called the melting point. Clear, student? First step. What is the melting point? The minimum temperature at which the substance starts changing from solid state to liquid state, that is called the melting point. Is it clear? Second point is the boiling point or boiling temperature, the minimum temperature at which the substance changes from liquid state to gaseous state. That is called the boiling temperature or boiling point. Now, students, freezing point, it is the minimum temperature at which the substance changes from liquid state to solid state. That is called the freezing point or freezing temperature. Now, students, if I am having the ice, if I increase the temperature, definitely the ice will start melting and it will become as a liquid. Means solid to liquid, that is called the melting point. The minimum temperature at which substance changes from solid state to liquid state, that is called the melting point. And the temperature, minimum temperature at the substance changes from liquid to gas, boiling temperature, boiling point, and the minimum temperature substance changes from liquid to solid, that is called the freezing point. Is it clear, student? So these three terms are very, very important. So which will be utilized when we will go into detail of this lesson. Is it clear, students? And sometimes you may find in their competitive exams, so this type of the definitions, they may ask freezing point, define what is freezing point, the difference between freezing point, boiling point, or anything difference between boiling point and melting point. What could be the difference in this? So these terms. So next topic is the students. Already when I have already explained to you this regarding the states of matter, solids, liquid, and gas, the distributions of the atoms or the molecules. In case of solid, the atoms, they are very, very closely packed because the intermolecular space in case of solid, it is very, very less. Force is a strong bonding between the solids and the space is very less. I'll draw the diagram. In the case of liquid, the space is more and intermolecular force is not that much strong as comparison to solids. But in case of gases, the intermolecular force is weak and the space between the molecules or the atom is very, very large. They are separately apart. Is it clear, students? Now I'll draw the diagram, and in that diagram, so our next topic will be how that if we are applying the pressures, how these states of the matter, they are being converted into the one state to another state. So, and we'll study about the evaporations and the factors affecting the evaporations, how the rate of evaporation can be increased. Very, very important question, students. What is the evaporations? How the rate of evaporations can be increased? Very, very important question. Important questions for your board exam, your NTSC, any of the competitive exams, science Olympiad and all. This question, evaporations, and what are the factors on which the rate of evaporation depends? Is it clear, students? Now further, continue to that topic. Now I'll draw the diagram of solids, liquids, and gas. Now here is there are three containers. I'll draw the three diagrams I have made. First is hello. Yes, students, I have made the three diagrams, number 1, number 2, number 3. First diagram, I have shown the atoms or the molecule in the first container. So you may observe the intermolecular force may be it's very strong, and the space between the particles or the atoms or molecule is very less. They are very close. They are very close. In case of liquid, they are not so much close in comparison to solids. But in case of gas, they are separately apart. The intermolecular space is very high, very large. See, one atom or molecule is here I have shown. Second, only few atoms or molecules or particles which are I have shown in case of third diagram, that is a gas. Now students, question arises. You see, observe the three diagrams. 1, 2, 3. See, in the second diagram, the space between the atoms is quite large as comparison to gas. If I will compress this gas, compress mean I got one piston. If I'll put the pressures, if with the help of the piston, if I am compressing this gas, definitely these molecules or the atom, they will come closer to each other. They will come closer to each other, student, when I will apply the pressures here. Now these particles, atoms or the molecules, they will come close to each other. Definitely students, the space between the atoms or molecules or the particles will be less, and they will convert into the shape of from gas to liquids. That's why students, when we are applying the pressures or when the gas is compressed, it converts into the liquids. The gas which students you are using, which are using in your kitchen, that is for cooking the food, that gas is a LPG. What is the full form of LPG? LPG, the full form of LPG is a liquid. It is a liquefied petroleum gas. Liquefied petroleum gas. Because when the gas is compressed or applied pressures, that time that gas converts into the liquid, and it is that gas and which is utilized for cooking the food. LPG gas, liquefied petroleum gas. And you might have today heard about the gas which is used in our vehicles, that is called CNG. That is a CNG. The full form of CNG, it is a compressed natural gas. The compressed natural gas, that is also gas is there, but it is in the form of liquid. Is it clear, students? Nowadays, you might have heard about the oxygen cylinders. As it is nowadays, there is a shortage of oxygens in the hospitals. You may be listening in the news that's in so and so hospital there is a shortage of oxygen. So they are using the oxygen cylinders, and sometimes you may they may give the news the liquid oxygen. They may use these wording that liquid oxygens, because there also oxygen is in the liquid form. When it will come out, when the pressure is released, then these liquids convert into the vapors. Is it clear, students? The gas still it is in the cylinder in the form of liquid. When the pressure is released, then it becomes gas. Is it clear, students? So CNG full form, compressed natural gas, LPG liquefied petroleum gas. Now students, first diagram, the particles they are separately apart. The particles they are separately apart. When I will apply the pressures or the gas, it is compressed. That time it will convert into the liquids. Is it clear, students? Now, if I'll apply more pressures to that, again it will convert, because ultimately, if you are observing the three diagrams, we are only decreasing the space between the particles. I have only by applying the pressures, the space between the particle, it is reduced. From gas, it has become to liquid, and further it will become as a solid when more it will be compressed. Is it clear, students? Is it clear, students? So evaporations, next topic is evaporations. It is the process or phenomena when the substance changes from liquid state to gaseous state below its boiling temperature. One of the student has asked me, sir, कि evaporations के लिए भी कोई particular temperature है क्या? Then my answer, I have given the answer. The evaporation can take place at any temperature. I given the live example to that student. The example which I have given, for example, I got the wet cloths. Now I want the wet cloth to be dried. So I'll just hang those wet cloths in my sea, not outside, just in my room, and fan is on. So even though, for example, there is a rainy season is there, then also that wet cloth will dry, become dry. Ultimately, there will be evaporations of the liquid or the water which is present in the cloth. So the evaporation can take place at any temperature, even it is at the room temperature also. It is not mandatory the temperature should be 50 or 60 degrees. It can be. If the temperature is more, the rate of evaporation will be increased. That cloth which may take say 20 minutes for drying up, that may take only for 10 minutes. For example, outside very sunny weather is there. You are just keeping the cloth, wet cloth on the say wire, and you are spreading that wet cloth on the wire. So after 10 minutes, you will feel that those clothes which were wet, now after 10 minutes, they have become dried. Reason? Because the temperature, outside temperature is more, and the wind speed is also more. And ultimately, you have increased the surface area also. So if the three factors are taken into consider, number one, by increasing the temperature, number two, by increasing the wind speed, and number three, by increasing the surface area. If these three factors, they are increased, simultaneously the rate of evaporation will increase. And one factor, that is the humidity. Humidity means the water vapor present in the air. If water vapors are more in the air, now students, the rate of evaporation will decrease. Three things, they can be increased, and directly the rate of evaporation will increase. And one, that is the humidity. If it is increased, the rate of evaporation, it will reduce. So these are the factors, four factors on which the rate of evaporation depends. Number one, temperature. If I increase the temperature, rate of evaporation will increase. If I increase the wind speed, rate of evaporation will increase. If I increase the surface area, that time also rate of evaporation will increase. And humidity means the water vapor present in the air. If they are increased, for example, during the rainy seasons, so you may find that the wet cloth will take more time for drying off. Reason? Because humidity is present in the atmosphere. On the say dry days, on the hot summer days, so when the humidity is less, then it will take less time for drying up the cloths. Is it clear, students? So very, very important topic. What is evaporations? How the rate of evaporations can be increased. So students, with this, we have studied about the evaporations, how the rate of evaporation can be increased, how the states of matter after applying the pressures, they can be changed, and how the states of matter that can be interchangeable, that is the melting point, freezing point, boiling point, and condensations, and everything, all the terms today we have studied. If you are having any doubt, please you may ask any questions. From starting onward, the topic that this lesson, matter in our surrounding, if you are having any doubt up to this topic, you may ask. Your most welcome, students. Any question from your side, students? Yes, students. Any question from your side, you may ask. Yes, student, you may raise your hands. I'll clear the doubts. Any question from your side, students? Yes. Any question from your side, students? Hello. Yes, students. Any question from your side? So So today homework is that you have to prepare the notes and you have to write down all the NCERT questions which are given in your NCERT book. Is it clear, students? Any question from your side, please, you may ask. Till now, if you are having any doubt, please, most welcome. Yes, students, any question, please? Any question from your side, students? Hello, please note down. Yes, students. Any question from your side, please, you may ask. Yes. Hello. Student, is it topic today? Topic is clear to you? Hello. I want your feedback. Whether this topic is clear to you, whatever we already taken this topic. Hello. Yes, Harshit. You may raise your hand, please, students. And you, hello, Vani. Yes. Is it understood? The topic today, today's topic. Hello. Yes. Yes, students. May I know the name? Yes. Vani and Srishti. Any question from your side, please? You may unmute yourself and you may ask the questions. Yes, Vani, please ask the questions. Any question from your side, please? Hello. Yes, Vani, any question to you? Any question, please ask to me. First, unmute yourself and you can ask question, please. Hello. Yes. Yes, Vani, Srishti, you have raised the hand, please ask the question. First, unmute yourself, then ask the question, please. Hello. Yes, students. Hello. Ask the question. Yes, students. Any question from your side, please? Hello. Yes. Please ask. Hello. Yes. Please unmute your mic, please. Please unmute your mic, students. Hello. Hello. Yes, students, please first unmute yourself